Well, here we are, another week. Today, we're actually going to be talking about relationships, and more specifically, marriage, and how seasons kind of correlate to marriage. So, if this piques your interest at all, in any way, I encourage you to press in, tune in, watch this video all the way through, because who knows? You might learn something. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Now, I know what some of you guys are probably thinking. Some of you are probably thinking to yourselves, didn't you do a video on relationships and specifically marriage before? And you would be correct. I did last year, dating and marriage. So if you haven't seen that video, I will link that up in the corner. Give you guys easy access to go back and watch it at your leisure. But this is more tailored towards those that have been married for a while and the different seasons that you kind of encounter as a couple. Now, keep in mind, for those of you that are single that are watching this channel, and you probably had this thought, well, if it's for the married people, then that counts me out, so I don't have to keep watching. I would caution you against that, because I think you could learn something. Because this idea of how marriage and seasons kind of work and correlate and mesh is good for single people as well. It kind of relates to single people. So I was watching this podcast, Jay Shetty. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not, but he's a pretty popular podcaster and like just life I guess influencer in a way. And he occasionally has his wife on the podcast, and this was a particular episode where he was talking to his wife, and he was talking about this book that he read and where this idea kind of came from. And so he was kind of like laying it out, and I just thought it was really interesting and kind of profound, actually. So I wanted to present this to you and show this to you, and then we'll unpack it a little bit. So let's watch this together.
Savoring those moments. It was about really cherishing and realizing that we were in a building phase. And so I want to address something here actually that I think will be really interesting for people is I talk a lot about like the 5 cycles of life that we all go through. So we have learn, experiment, perform, struggle, thrive. And so these are like different stages you go through every year. And when we were in New York, we were in a build phase of our life. Like we were both building. We just got married. I'd literally just started my career. You were discovering your career. We were in a build phase.
Yeah.
And I think when you expect a lot from your partner, when you're both building, it can be really demanding. But now we're at a stage in our life where certain things we're performing in, where I've got a bit of a rhythm and a role. And so I'm able to give more time, and you're in this different stage in your life. And I feel like when you start looking at your life as stages, as opposed to like everything
this is how it's going to be forever.
It's like, it can't be that way. And there's actually a really good book on this by Gary Chapman. And I think it's called The 4 Seasons of Love, or The 4 Seasons of Marriage or Relationships. Cool. And it talks about how is your relationship right now in the season of summer, winter, spring, or autumn? Now, when I think about this, I think that all of us want our relationship to always be in summer.
I mean, I like winter, but...
Okay. Well, you just ruined
it.
You ruined
like
go along with it. Yeah. We always want our relationship to be in summer, in the sense that it's hot, it's passionate, it's cool. It's like everything's good about summer, right? We all look forward to summer. But maybe your relationship's at a point in life right now, as this book says, that your relationship might be in winter. It's going for a dark period, a cold period, where you just got to stick it out together.
Yeah.
When I think about New York... when I think about us in New York, it was a bit of winter and spring.
Yeah.
Like it was a bit of winter and spring, and autumn's like where you got to let go and you got to shed. And I think about when we first started dating, there were moments where our relationship was in autumn,
Yeah.
where we were just letting things go and purging. And
So what interested me in that clip was when he said that a lot of people want their relationships to always be in summer. And I thought to myself, that's true. A lot of people do. A lot of people always want their relationships to be in summer. So when they're in a winter season, they try to fight against it and push back against it. They're always trying to make summer fit in winter or fall or spring, where it's not supposed to. So I just wonder and ask the question, what season is your relationship in? And are you trying to make summer fit in a winter season? When you're supposed to be maybe building and encouraging and just going through the mundane things, are you trying to make it like a summer season when it's not supposed to be a summer season? So if we can figure out which season we're in and just be in that season for however long that season lasts, I think our stress level would probably go down, and it'd probably bring us more joy because we wouldn't be as on edge trying to make something fit where it doesn't. I just encourage you to take an inventory of your life and see which season you're in. And when you figure out which season you're in, don't think of it as a bad season. Like if you're losing friendships or jobs or whatever the case may be, and you're in a fall season where you're kind of shedding some of this stuff, that season's not going to last very long. And it doesn't mean that if you lose a job, you don't go find another job. You're like, well, I'm in a fall season. No. You go find another job. But if you're losing, if you notice in your life that things are leaving, perhaps you're in a fall season. And that's okay. That is okay. So let's not hate the different seasons if it's not the season we prefer. Let's dress accordingly to those seasons so that we are better prepared for those seasons when they happen, when they arrive. I hope this encourages somebody, and I hope this also kind of inspired you to maybe look at life a little bit differently, look at a relationship a little bit differently. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until next week, as always, be blessed and stay safe.